Hong Kong buyers to the rescue. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I'm finishing off my lunchtime coffee and I thought we'd have to have a look at this article from news.com.au because it's discussing Hong Kong buyers and how, they're coming to the rescue for the Australian property market. Don't worry, guys. Predictions of a 30% fall in property, a 10% fall in property, it's all out the window now. Hong Kong is coming to the rescue. They're going to save us. They're going to save us. Now, what do you think? The fantastic measures that they use to determine the economic security of our nation. Which one do you reckon it'll be? Do you think it'll be search results? Search results are a favourite. Do you think they are what's driving this? Internet traffic flooding us from Hong Kong, looking at search results. Views are up on this webpage. The economy is done. Or maybe they've interviewed someone with a vested interest in real estate that has connections to Hong Kong. And that's what's going to save us all, save us here in Australia. Well, let's see. Let me know in the comments which one you think. Which one you think. So, I'm a fan of Hong Kong. It's a beautiful city. Well, it was when I went there. It really was when I went there. And it's whenever you get out of Australia and you go to a Northern Hemisphere city, it really is a lot busier, much more sophisticated, and just much more action. Much more action. So, they don't, they've got a nightlife there. If some of the rules we have of shutting down our cities here and kicking people out of clubs, and it's just a bit of a joke. So interest in Australian real estate from Hong Kong continues to boom. House hunters from Hong Kong are increasingly targeting Australia as their preferred place to live. But what they are looking for is very different to most other overseas buyers. People from Hong Kong, pushed to breaking point by China's strengthening grip on the former British territory, are increasingly seeking out Australia as a potential new home, new data reveals. And the introduction of a draconian new security law by Beijing and the Morrison government's offer of Australian work rights with a path to citizenship for residents in the territory, interest in Australian property from Hong Kong has spiked. And, this is the thing. Hong Kong cultural compatibility with Australian compatibility is quite high. It's very, mainland Chinese to Hong Kong Chinese, very different. In many ways, different cultures, different languages even. The political unrest, which dramatically escalated in June last year, boosted interest in Australian real estate market by as much as 34% year on year on Australia's leading property platform, realestate.com.au. Due to the latest developments, search activity, there we go. Search activity from Hong Kong has peaked by as much as double that again. You can't blame them. Who wouldn't want to get away from China? Although, in some regards, the Chinese have more freedom than we have here in Australia, but it's aside from the point. Interest in property in Victoria has lifted by 25% year on year. In New South Wales, over the same time frame, it has grown by 36%, Queensland by 38%, and Adelaide by 65%. Could that be because of just the competitiveness of Adelaide? What we'll do is we'll bring up the property data room here, and I'll just bring up here the comparison. We'll compare different house prices. Now, Sydney is the highest. Oh, you've got to love this NBN. I tell you, they're not moving to Australia for our NBN. That's for bloody sure. They're not moving to Australia for our NBN. And I'm paying extra for higher speed. When you go from fibre to NBN, it's painful. It really is. So, we'll look at the median house value. And this is from April 30th, 2020. Sydney takes the cake at 930. And then Adelaide, 462. So maybe that's why 65% of them looking there. Their Hong Kong dollars are going to go a lot further in Adelaide than they will in New South Wales, in Victoria, even in Brisbane, even in Hobart. I feel sorry for the Tasmanians. Their property, Hobart has just gone insane. They don't have Lonnie here, but I can't imagine Lonnie's much cheaper. At least they got Bogues. They got Bogues down there, so they're okay. They're okay. That's all they need. Unusual search activity, of course. This basically began 12 months ago when we started to see the riots in Hong Kong, and since then things have gone from bad to worse with a lot of people. And then we have the pandemic, so that search activity kept going up, said REA Chief Economist Nerida Conisbee. It is a very unsettled economic and political situation. The data tells us that a lot of people there are looking to move, and a lot of expats are looking to come home. Search activity from Hong Kong is characterized by notable differences from other overseas locations. The price point they are looking at is around 1 million and above, whereas the more typical price point we get from overseas is lower at 750, she said. This could be due to the extreme pricing of property in Hong Kong. Well, yeah, Hong Kong property is insane, particularly on the island. It's just crazy. And here you go, look at the growth in search. So Australia as a safe haven. Australia as a safe haven. Sebastian James, a buyer's agent with Hunter James, is witnessing this surge interest translate into on-the-ground transactions. We're definitely seeing a larger than normal level of inquiry from Hong Kong buyers and expats in general this year, with many citing global uncertainty as a primary reason, he said. There has definitely been a lot of concern on the impacts of security and privacy, whilst others are just looking at Sydney as a safe haven for their money. And that's probably one thing we have. One reason why our property is bubbling. One reason why foreign investment was, spiked up in 14, 15, 16, 17. We'll have to see how it's going to go in the next few years. Remember, this is the problem with investment in housing as a safe haven where people want to lock their money in. If they just want to store their money, they may leave it empty. Doncaster East, and Melbourne are the most favoured Victorian suburbs for those searching from Hong Kong. In New South Wales, it's Sydney, Chatsworth and Epping. In Queensland, the Gold Coast, Indooroopilly and Brisbane City are high on the buyer's wish list. Why the Gold Coast? In South Australia, Adelaide, North Adelaide and Norwood lead the way. Eric Wong, property partner with the agency in Melbourne, focuses on the above suburbs in her role as a seller's agent. On the ground late last year, I was meeting lots of people at those 4 particular suburbs, including Baldwin. At the opens that were from Hong Kong and had come to Australia specifically to look at real estate, she said. This time around, we are in lockdown, but we continue to get a lot of inquiries. We've always seen a lot of activity in these areas that are attractive to people from Hong Kong or even mainland China. It's close to the city. They are areas that have traditionally appealed to the Asian demographic, and the schools there are very good, which seems to come at a premium. There is a lot of investment interest, and given Hong Kong is one of the most densely populated countries in the world, their real estate prices over there are crazy for cramped, high-density apartments. For what they pay for tiny living quarters over there, they can get a house with land here, so in many ways it's a lifestyle move as well. Yeah, well, the only thing is you can't get servants over here. You can over there. You can over there. So we are marketing to Hong Kong. Australian property has emerged as a safe investment over several decades, and that is even more so the case during this global pandemic. The other thing that is happening alongside high levels of search from Hong Kong is that a lot of developers are marketing to Hong Kong, Ms. Conisbee said. There is a strong appetite for Australian property over there, and offshore buyers are restricted to buying new property. And I've worked on projects where it was completely contingent on offshore purchases to get the job off the ground. Just think about that. There are a lot of people wanting to get their money out of Hong Kong and relocate, and Australia is a very safe economy. There is a low sovereign risk here, whereas in Hong Kong, there are a lot of unknowns. Australia looks comparatively safe to the rest of the world, including the US and UK, and that includes when it comes to how we're dealing with the pandemic. And she has a point there. When you look at just the issues that Australia is facing compared to the US, compared to the UK, we're the best of a bad bunch in some regards. Will that be enough to prop up our property, to keep the property bubble going, everyone? to keep property prices going high, to keep putting a burden on those already here. So, I mean, you get Hong Kongers moving over here, then their children's children are going to be the ones copping it like everyone else. So most suburbs for Hong Kong buyers: Sydney, Chatsworth, Epping. Let's go to Queensland. Let's see if you know the ones I know. Gold Coast, Indooroopilly, Brisbane City, 8 Mile Plains, Sunnybank Hills, Toowong, Sunshine Coast, Rochedale and McGregor. Yeah, a bit all over the place. Not a surprise, particularly with Sunnybank and Sunnybank Hills. You know, you got all the traditional Asian communities out here. Rochedale, not too far away. Toowong, I mean, that's a nice area out there. Indro and the Brisbane City, I guess, in the city. Not for a family, though. Not for a family. We got SA, I mean, there you go. I mean, your money will go a lot further in SA. And Box Hill, of course, in Victoria. So there we have it, everyone. Hong Kong to the rescue for our property market. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think this will make a measurable impact on Australian property? Do you think we'll all, see an increase? Or is their demo just too small to make a long-term impact? As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy a merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.